I've already said about how overstretched the NHS is. They don't want me down there and casually saying, oh, Ghibli fell in me. A what? A Ghibli. Now, what am I doing here? Going the wrong way, aren't I? Tipping in the wrong direction. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Right, okay, we want to go this way with it, don't we? But anyway, so it's oiled it anyway. Had to give it that oil in, didn't it? So, shall we fit the engine? I said we would. Let's have a go at it. Right, so we've got it on a load leveler here. This now allows us to tip it by the centre of gravity, you know, by the sort of point that it lifts on, because we're going to need to articulate it down to drop the gearbox down to then sort of slide under that way. So that's why I've got the load lever on there, and then that will fit the load leveler to adjust it. So when we need it, we'll use that. I'll tip the back down a bit. I'll let down it first. Close there, we should be right. Right, let's come back this way a bit just to give us a bit of safety. So you can see how the pivot point changes, which allows this load level to drop down, which is what we're after. So we've got to slide that gearbox down in as we go. Right, so you stop every now and again and have a look to see what we got. So you can see it's quite tight through here. We're near that fuse box. It's fairly tight here, but there's a relay there. So we want to watch that, but I could have taken it off, but it will go past there. Obviously I've got the engine mounts past our steering box and our idler. And then we've got this cross member here. So this has got to now go down, back, level up, and then that's got to clear that cross member. So it's got to go in quite a long way yet. So you see we've only got that much room here, and we're going to need all of that there. So that's almost going to be touching that bumper time we get it there. The jack's under there to help articulate the gearbox up, because although the load lever is going to work, we might need to get a bit more by just a bit of helping hand on the jack. I think we want to go in a bit further and then start to articulate it, you know, change its centre of gravity a bit so it angles back in the proper direction. And we want to do this without hitting the bulkhead. I think we'll tip that round a bit, allow this to tip a bit and see what we got. I think that's probably the next best thing. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a bit of oil for the thread on here because I'm always complaining about people not oiling threads when they should do. Like the old guy in the VW ad, do you remember? With the squeaky earring. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're too young. So you want to tip the big gearbox up, don't we? Right, there you go. So that's articulated that all the way. So we're as level as we can get, but we've got to go back a bit further to get the engine mounts to line up, and then we'll have to drop down a bit. But I won't be able to get the back of the gearbox as high as I want it without that jack, which is why I've got that jack under there. So we're sat about where we want to be. So if we look down in here, we can see where the engine mount's going to need to go. So we've got a through bolt through there, and then it will bolt onto the chassis there, and then that's the actual mount itself, this spring-loaded, or spring-loaded, I don't know if that's the right description, but these springy things. So it's those, we've got to get those in to mount it properly. So that's why I haven't got them in there at the minute, because we need it loose to be able to get that through bolt through. Now the bolts were missing, which is why I've using these Fiat bolts at the minute. See, from my stock of Fiat bolts, this isn't really the right thing for this job. As in, it shouldn't have Fiat written on it. And these are RIT precious. These are saved for the Dinos and things, aren't they? So I don't want to use them unnecessarily up on this job. Right, so we should be able to pop that in there. And then with that loose, we should be able to start that through there. We hoped. Something like that. There you go. So that's sort of dropped that on there. So that's sort of loosely in there. I'll do the same the other side, and then we'll try and drop it down onto a bit more. Right, so that's sort of where it needs to go roughly. So if I let this drop down a touch more, that's dropping down right. That's lining up that bolt. That one's starting to line up. Let's see if I can pop the back one in. There you go. Right, that's on there. So if I just start a couple of nuts on here, just so that it's sort of holding roughly in place. I'll get down under here, and I should be able to get that rear bolt. I can't get the nut on that without lying down here, so I'll do that quickly. Now at this point we could allow the engine to rest down onto its mounts there, and that'll be all right. Right, so that's rested down onto there. Now we've got to lift the gearbox up. So we'll have a look at that next. So that's what the jack's here for. The main reason is to get that up to height. I need to do it that way. But the other reason we've got to do this is that I've got to take the crane away. And if I take the crane away, the gearbox is going to try and fall out, isn't it? And the back of all of it's going to try and fall out of there. What I've got to do is I've got to support the engine, the back of the engine, to hold that up so I can get the rear gearbox mount on. And I can't fit the rear gearbox mount under here because it's too tight. I can't get under it. So what I want to do is I want to get this supported, lift it up on the jack. We'll take the crane away and then I can support it from above. Right, that should do it, shouldn't it? So if I lift that up, top the back of that up with the jack, then I should go up onto that drain bung, missing the clutch carrier, clutch release slave carrier, and there I've got that back up there now, haven't I? So I've got that in a better position. Right, that's it. So we're safe. We're on our engine mounts, and we've supported the back of the gearbox. So we've now got the engine sitting somewhere safe, and now I can take the crane away. Yeah.
Add spots.
Yeah.
It's on the. Do you put the wood on it? And
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. That's it. All right. Okay. So we can now take our crane away and remove our load leveller, but I'll leave the chains on for now and you'll see why. Okay, take the load level off of there so we don't hit anything on anything. Now we've got to use that chain, pull the back of the engine up, put some blocks on here so I can lift it up with our engine support beam, which is really for sort of doing clutches on front wheel drive cars, because of course on a front wheel drive car your gearbox sits off the end of the engine, and obviously the front of the engine is mounted to something or somewhere, that one part of the engine is mounted, but then the back part of the engine will be mounted via the gearbox. And of course if you take the gearbox out you have to take the mounts off, and then you've got nothing to hold your engine in. So they do these supports with that in mind, and these are great tools, really good. And of course once you've got something like this you adapt it for other jobs, which is the whole point of it. So we can use this to pull the engine up, then that'll be holding the engine up at the back, and then I can lift the car up on the crane, and then we can do what we need to do, can't we, underneath, which is going to be the fitting of the gearbox cross member. Got an exhaust clamp here just to sort of stop them chains slipping through. I don't think they would, but just in case they do. It'd be too late, wouldn't it? You don't want this Ghibli engine on your head, would you? I've already said about how I overstretch the NHSs. They don't want me down there in casualty saying, oh, Ghibli fell on me. A what? A Ghibli. Okay, so we take up the slack with this thread. And you see, I'm obsessed with having all threaded, with oiling the threads on things. Well, they should be, because otherwise they'll wear out, won't they? Don't want graunch threads, do we? I expect to be using this more than once. So that looks like it's supporting it. So drop the jack down, just to check. By letting the jack down gently, we'll know if we've got it held there or not, won't we? Rather than lifting the ramp up and finding it all tries to tip out. There you can see it's tipping back like that. Right. Now, because of the centre of gravity on this thing, we're almost in the middle here, between this and the gearbox. So it's trying to tip off of its engine mounts. It's tipping back on these a bit. But I'm not too worried for what we're doing. It's safe enough to do what we've got to do, and then we can do all them up. Once, you know, it's not something I'm worrying about at the minute. Right, we can get up in the air now. So that's our gearbox mount. We've got to put that on. So that's the rubber part of it. So that's you replace that bit. This, you can buy this in, but this bit was missing, so I fabricated that up out of steel. Now originally they're aluminium, a slightly different looking thing, but we haven't got one for a pattern, so I can't replicate it, and so I've just got to work with what I've got. So I know roughly this is what they look like. And obviously dimensionally I can work that out for myself, which I've done. So look, there's a sort of example of that's a quattroporte one. So you can see it's a different thing, it's too wide. So it's different, it's even got the bolt holes to mount the chassis are different. And this is because this has got the earlier ZF gearbox, it has different types of mounts on it. This has the twin cotton reel ones rather than that style. So it's a very different thing. But it's probably, one of these would look a bit like this, and looking in the parts catalogue it looks more like this. So yeah, if I had a pattern I could have milled it out of aluminium to look a bit more like this. So obviously this is some sort of casting, or you know, I don't know if that's a die casting, I don't know. Forgive me my ignorance on this, I don't know enough about this stuff, whether that's a die casting or a sand casting. But anyway, it's been machined up afterwards. So a lot of work. I'd have to mill it out of a block of aluminium, which would cost a fortune, and we'd be talking about a lot of milling time. So I thought this is the better solution. And then if one turns up, you know, they can replace it with a proper one, can't they, if you ever find one? We spent a year looking for bits already, so I'm sure someone will turn and say, oh, I've got one of them. So, well, we want it. Right, so there you go, we can see what we've got. That's going to go up onto those bolts through there, like that. And then that allows me to get to the nuts on it, and then we've got to pull this all up into place, haven't we? That's got to go up. So we've got to use that winder and pull it up, or we could use the transmission jack under here for now to lift it. Now I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the jack, get it up into place, and get the side bolts in. It bolts in from the side here. And then it's safe, and I can use those, can't I? That's it. Be careful, this bit of wiring is getting a bit close to. Well, you might not want it. And a bit more height than that, don't we? Let's see what we can get. Okay, how's that? Looks all right, doesn't it? Right. Okay, that's safe now, isn't it? I've got those ones, them nuts to go on here. Need to drop these through the sort of mount and so on, but to be honest, I'm not getting involved in that right at the minute. But we'll just do this and then we know we're safe. So we're in there anyway. And if you tune in next week, you can see why I've taken it all back out again. Because I have got to. Anyway, I'm off because the Easter Bunny wants me. Happy Easter.
A tutte le ore, sempre, ma sempre qua. Vediamo qua. Vediamo qua. Ecco qua.